Let's let everybody try to get signed in and watch. I got some great things to address. I think you know, wasn't quite sure what all I'm going to say tonight, and still don't. I'm kind of going to free throw it. Larry is out, taking a trip back home to see his beautiful family. So shout out to Larry. Hope he has a safe flight. He's still in transition and on his way to where he's got to go. This type of shit right here, let's make me have to do this real fast. Just kidding. I should, though. I should light it up, knock it out. But good evening, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, productive day. There is a group of us that have not been having one, for whatever reason. There's some individuals who take pleasure in tearing people down. I'm one of those individuals who I was raised that marijuana was bad. Marijuana will kill you. Marijuana is the devil, and was raised in a home where none of my family partaked whatsoever. And just like anyone, when you're raised a certain way, you have certain views. Fortunately for me, I am a very forward-thinking individual. I make decisions and choices based on my own ideas, my own choices. And when I was able to see that cannabis is definitely a medicinal, medical, great thing to help save lives, any human being that can see the transformation it can do for children to stop seizures, to kill cancer, to put Crohn's in remission, to give people any kind of quality of life back, to help them get off of any type of medication, to give them any kind of relief should they choose to want to use cannabis. I changed as an individual as far as my goals, my ideas. I went from the world that was a very corporate-driven world. I have always been a serial entrepreneur. I have had multiple businesses. I've worked for Fortune 100 companies in Dallas. I have ran companies and generated over $20 million in sales because I'm extremely good at what I do. And I've been a part of this canna community. Everyone talks about it, and I've just started getting in it, and I know I'm the underdog, and I know nobody really knows me. And I've always seen peace, love, and happiness when it comes to cannabis. And I've always seen it, and I always thought, why are my parents and everybody I know so against this weed? I mean, why? And I never understood it. And then now that I've seen the ability that it has to help so many people, and I've gotten involved in it, and I can be a part of it, and I can help people, it is extremely saddening to me, because I expected people that are about peace, love, and happiness, people who lost their lives, people who fought for this, people who needed this, people who were going down to the Capitol and chanting and were down there, and they were out there for hours and days and weeks and months, and they were out there getting things done to make sure that 788 could pass. And they were so passionate about love and helping people. It is really, really saddening to me that I have left this corporate world to be a part of something for people who want to just continuously try to tear myself down and others. It's not just me. It's been a lot of nastiness. And if everyone wants to be extremely, honest, there's a lot of nastiness in our industry in Oklahoma. And it's sad because we have one of the best products, one of the best programs in the United States. And we're being looked at, and people are looking at us, and we can't even get along within the own group that we're in. And what even makes it even more sad for me is that Oklahoma is the #1 state for incarceration. There are people serving time in prison, hundreds of thousands of people serving time in prison for crimes that they did commit And there's hundreds of thousands of people doing time in prison for crimes that they didn't commit. And then there's just hundreds of thousands of people that are doing time for an exorbitant amount of time that they really shouldn't even be in there for that amount of time for. You know, I mean, everybody knows somebody that is affected by the prison system or has been affected by, has been influenced by somebody that's been incarcerated. And it's just very, very sad to me that I continuously get attacked. It really is, it's cyberbullying. I know everybody laughed when Billy and Bean brought me on their show, and, they pulled me on late at night, and they had called me, and everybody that had followed them, it's like they tied me up in this room and put me in the middle, and then everybody doused me with basically gasoline. And I watched people in that room that day, in that particular live feed, clapping and cheering and saying things, get her out of here, she's nobody, la 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 la. Everybody was coming for me that night. And I was just like, damn, I feel like I murdered somebody. And so many people have something to say, or they feel a certain kind of way about my life. And I know there's a ton of people in the cannabis community that aren't currently flying right, that are cutting corners in various different ways. They're doing that. I mean, everybody knows there's pounds coming in from all over the state, have been since the inception of it. It's not a good thing. It's a reality. Everybody knows that people are cutting corners. I mean, there's so many different ways that people are doing things not the right way. They're not living all the way straight. And there's a lot of people who are former convicted felons. But in the beauty of our state, as messed up as it is, as high of an incarceration rate that we have here in our state, the 788 petition, everything that was written, at least gave people an opportunity. If you are a convicted felon, you can have an opportunity to compete as long as you meet the requirements. And it's only like 2 years you have to have, unless you're 5 years if you have some sort of violence in your background as well. So everyone has an opportunity to compete in our cannabis program if they'd like to, and have an opportunity, because when you are incarcerated and you are now labeled a felon and you go to prison, it's not good enough that you have to pay your debt back to society by being ripped away from your family, and then your family has to support everybody that's locked up. They have to work extra hard to support them in there, and the trauma that it causes to the children and to all the family members, it's not bad enough. And mind you, people go to jail for reasons, a lot of times it is definitely justified. And I'm not saying that it's not. But when they get out of prison, they're doomed. But you know what? This particular program, it allows people with felonies an opportunity which they have not even had. They just got it on the applications where people don't have to say that they're a felon. They just passed that like a year or so ago, where people could actually not have to work at Just Sonic. They could actually go get real jobs and be real productive people in society and not have to take minimum wage jobs. And they could actually have a life when they get out of prison. And it's not bad enough that once you've paid your debt to society, you've served your prison time, you're labeled as a felon, you can't vote until you're completely off probation, you can't carry a gun to even try to protect yourself, which is in the your rights as an individual. You can't do that anymore. And it's just a lot of things that hinder you as a felon. I am an exception to the rule, that I was blessed with a skill set before I went to prison, that I was able to get out and be successful after I got out of prison. And if people in this industry as a whole don't like me, or they think I'm a bitch because they call me that, and I stay to myself, I don't have a ton of friends, I work 24/7. And when I'm working for patience. And since so many people are so concerned with my personal criminal history, that was over 10 years ago. It was a nonviolent offense. I was caught up in a scheme that I was not completely aware of. It turned out it was after the fact. And I was convicted. My indictment doesn't matter, because an indictment is just like a charge when you go to court. they're saying you did all these things, and then you either plead out or you take it to trial. In my case, I felt I could win a jury trial. But when the United States of America versus you comes, you can't win. And when they want you to turn and basically crucify somebody and snitch, for a better word, which I refuse to do. I wouldn't have did it even if it wasn't my husband. I wouldn't have done it. But you're going to do time. It's going to happen. The United States of America versus you don't get off of it. I was a fool to think that, you know what, I didn't know about all these things were happening, and I'm innocent, and the justice system will not fail me. And I'm the best salesperson I know, so I'm actually even going to get on the stand and tell them my story. It doesn't matter. When they come for you, you're going to prison. And so I was yanked out of my home after all of this, and I had to leave my children. And I did it, and I am repeatedly, you guys, there are some people on Facebook and in this industry that are repeatedly coming for me. It is a hate crime that you guys are doing towards me. I don't owe explanations. Lord forbid you guys have put my shit on everything that you possibly can. Hooligan Bean has my paperwork. Another guy posted it today. And I know most of the people watching right now, most of you guys have felonies. You guys posted all your shit up there? Have you had to? You shouldn't have to. Because when you get in trouble and you do your time and you're finished, you should have an opportunity to feed your fucking kids. You should. You shouldn't have to be prosecuted over and over and over and over again from perfect strangers who don't know you. Now, most of y'all don't know me, but the only thing I've done since I've gotten into this industry is I have worked to help people. And I was convicted, for the record, and if you guys want to take the time to drive down to the federal courthouse, you can go down there and you're going to see, or just go look at Hooligan Bean's post. It's posted up there. I was found guilty by a jury trial for wire fraud. The reason they labeled it wire fraud, quite honestly, back in those times, they didn't know how else to call it. I posted ads on a Craigslist, I believe 7 of them, 7, and I thought I was helping a nonprofit organization actually help people. It turned out that was not the case. So I posted 7 ads on Craigslist that turned out to be a fraudulent organization. And for that, and because I would not testify under oath and tell them I knew the intricate details of anything else that was going on with the scheme that was taking place, I went to prison. I was not convicted of stealing patient identities. I was not convicted of stealing credit cards. I was not convicted of stealing anybody's medical history. I am getting ready to be 45 years old. My birthday is in October. I have never stole anyone's information and used it for any malice at any point. There is no one in this community that can come forward and say, I have stolen their information. You can contact the news channel who investigated our story. After we were all sentenced, I was sentenced to wire fraud for posting ads on Craigslist. That's it. That's all. I never worked for a doctor's office. I never had any patient's information. I have never stolen anybody's information. And I'm so incredibly saddened that you guys feel necessary for me to continue to repeat myself or prove myself to people who I don't even know. You say you care about the patients, you don't. Thomas Larson, you're a bitch. Okay? You are a bitch, and everybody that continues to jump on his bandwagon and allow him to bully me and put gasoline on me, you guys are the ones doing patients a disservice. And people think it's cute, and they got the little boys club and all that stuff, and I'm not as cool as Giddy Up and some of the other people. You know, for someone to actually call High Times and do a live and tell them they're going to make sure that they don't do business with me, it's amazing. I don't understand it. Like, I didn't know I had so much power as an individual for all of this hoopla to go on behind me. Shit, I didn't know I was like, I'm a single mother. My husband is incarcerated. He's been gone for 10 years. And I have kids I'm taking care of. And I do the best I can every single day to do the next right thing, to try to make sure that I take care of myself and my family. But I do a lot for this brand new community that I have decided is, I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to break the stigma. I'm going to do what my family, if they don't like it or not, I'm going to do it anyway because I believe in helping people. And people can clown and say what they want to say about me, and they can get on live and they can talk and they can do whatever they want. Y'all can continue to keep speculating about what you think you know about me. And do I sound like a bitch right now? I hope so, because I'm pissed. I'm tired of you guys attacking me and attacking my character and going up and saying things and all the things that have been constantly being. You guys are committing a hate crime. It's called cyberbullying. And when Thomas Larson, which is a fake profile, everybody talks to him. Everybody knows him. Where's he at? I've never met this guy. Has anybody met Thomas Larson in person? If anybody has met Thomas Larson in person, please say something on my feed if you're watching this. I want to know who Thomas Larson is and why is he a god? He said some things on Hooligan's Post that he said, Jessica Hawkins, you don't need to talk about stuff. First of all, don't throw rocks, because I'm pretty sure that your husband or your boyfriend, your baby's dad, doesn't he have a background too? Do we need to post his background so he can get crucified as well? I'm sick of you guys. Jessica, you included. You're hateful. You're hateful. You say that you are a member in this community and you're about the patients. You are a hateful person. I need you to go spew your hate somewhere else because I'm sick of it. Put your husband's background and all the shit he's been doing also in the past. Post that shit up there too so everybody can see it. Because everybody's not going to do it. They shouldn't have to. And honestly, I don't want to see it. Honestly, I don't want to see it. But I need you to shut up talking about me and what my husband has done. Because you're hateful. You guys allow Thomas Larson. After Hooligan and Billy Dunn did what they did to me the first time, and, I was just saying, you can't cut off someone's leg. You can't murder them. You can't do different things to them and then say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You can't create a whole group of individuals that have a following against certain people and then say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You could do your best to try to clean it up and you can make things right. And I will say I appreciate Hooligan for doing that, and he even tried again yesterday. But the fact of the matter is, all this stuff, it just happens because people are spewing hate. And I didn't think that our community was about hate. Really didn't. I thought we were trying to save patients' lives. I thought we were trying to help children. And what's really disheartening to me is, I'm going to go ahead and just let everything out tonight. I think it'll be great because people need to know. I was approached by the Green Retreat. Okay? I didn't call them and mark it to the Green Retreat. Jessica, you need to stop talking about my husband. You're hateful. You are hateful, and you are a bitter person, clearly. I need you to go look at yourself in the mirror and figure out why you want to continue to try to bring up my family, because it has nothing to do with yours. Anyway, the Green Retreat, they approached me to do the patient drive because I didn't talk about it. I hadn't attempted to do it, but for Chronic Palooza, I seen over 1,200 patients on one day. If anybody else has done that and has been successful, kudos to you, but I did. And Grumpy approached me. He asked me to please be a part of his group. And then he had already spoke with Better Bloom, and they had talked about doing it. And instead of them handling it as an organization and telling Better Bloom, you know what, we're probably going to go with Chronic Docs instead. Can you handle it, Carrie? So I tried to work with Better Bloom. I tried to include her. it just didn't work out. She pulled out. It is what it is on that part of it. And so I basically was there with them trying to help them do a patient drive for Green Retreat. Week after week, I would go to these meetings, and the Green Retreat had raised no money. They weren't selling booths. They were not selling any sponsorships. Jessica, if you can't stay off my feed, just tune out. I mean, if you can't not talk, you just need to not talk. I mean, you're hateful. You're spewing hate. You don't know what you're talking about. And my family doesn't affect your family. So just listen, if nothing else. Maybe you'll learn something about me since you had so much to say yesterday. You're such a hateful human being. So, anyway, back to the story about the Green Retreat. So every week I would go to these meetings, Larry and I would, and I was hired to do the patient drive. That's it. That's all. Then we went into a contract with them that we were going to market them here on the Grinder because we were successful with the Grinder and marketing up to our Chronic Palooza. And I felt like the Grinder was a really great resource and marketing tool that we had for the Chronic Palooza, and we wanted to turn it into a revenue source so that we could actually make some money since we're here every night. I mean, sure, Larry's dabbing and he's having a great time and all these things are going on and all that great stuff. However, we wanted to use our platform. I mean, we're building something that nobody else is doing. We're setting some things, you know, people in Colorado and other places, they don't even have a network that's going on every night of the week like we are. And we wanted to use that platform. So they hired us at the Green Retreat to do this. So we had a contract to get paid for that. As you guys, anybody that watched us, we talked about the Green Retreat every day. We talked about it every night. We got excited about it. We brought up the videos on it. I spent my salary for my person that does all my marketing. I paid her to do all of the marketing that we were doing. We basically got all on board. Jessica, you are hateful. If you want to you are hateful. Get your own show, and then you can speak for your own self. But until then, just listen. It would be great. Because you can't. You're just a hateful person. So, anyway, so, you know, I took money out of my pocket and used that money to pay my employee to do all the marketing that we were doing to promote the Green Retreat. And so, anyway, every week, Larry and I would go in there. No booth sold, no sponsorship dollars. Grumpy was there. Grumpy was working on getting all the people for, down at the Capitol on board and all that good stuff. And then they came to me and they said, listen, I know you just did the Chronic Palooza, because I did, and I pulled it off. It was a bucket list thing of mine. I've staffed events for 20 years and have people work out of them. I've never had an opportunity to do one from A to Z, plan it and be a part of it and do all that. So this was something that was important to me, to be able to throw, something that I actually created from scratch. Me and two other chicks pulled it off. And anyway, they were like, hey, you did this, could you start helping us sell? Could you help market? Because, at the time when they asked us, I think they had one booth sold and they had a sponsor for a couple $1,000s, which wasn't enough because I had $100,000-something budget. So basically, I was like, well, it's kind of a conflict because I worked really hard for the past, 6-8 months to get these people on board. I've built relationships. I've been in sales. I've been fostering these relationships, and the sponsors that I have, you don't have. And if I come over here and work with you, it's kind of a conflict of interest. And anyone in business knows that. You don't want to walk in and hand away your book of business. But we worked together and we put together a contract, which we signed. And in my contract, it stated that they would not contact any of my people that I was bringing to the table for at least 6 months from the time that we stopped working with each other. And so because they gave me at least that little bit of piece of paper, which it wasn't much, but the fact that they gave me their word on top of it, because, Grumpy, he's a stand-up dude, right? He can believe and trust everything he says, and Max Baker, absolutely the same. So I wanted to like these guys and trust them, so I got on board with them. So I started marketing, and I started selling booths, and I started getting sponsorships, and so I go to CBD Plus, and I know half you guys hate them. I know half you guys think that they're horrible people. A lot of people have views on them for whatever reason. I actually have took the time to go in and meet the owner directly and sit and let him tell me why. I asked him why. Why does the community hate you? Because I don't know. I wasn't part of all this in the beginning. And, gave him an opportunity to talk to me, and I seen a lot of the good that he was doing, a lot of things that he does for the community, and a lot of things he does for children. And, he was my sponsor at Chronic Palooza. So, of course, I reach out to him to try to get him to support the Green Retreat. So he does. He gives us a sponsorship. So the next week when we go into the Green Retreat meeting that we have once a week, I go and let them know that I'm excited because nobody's selling anything. Nothing is getting sold to support this $100,000 budget. And I say, hey, I got CBD Plus on board. They're going to sponsor us. And Grumpy stood up, threw a fit, and was pissed and said he would not be a part of something that they're a part of. And he was mad. And he said basically it was really fucked up because he can't sell his T-shirts if CBD Plus is giving away free T-shirts. And he is not going to have the Green Retreat be the CBD Plus show. So I was like, well, they were at Chronic Palooza, and it wasn't the CBD Plus show at Chronic Palooza. When you have an event, the goal is to do giveaways. The goal is to get as many people to show up that can get free stuff, because they'll show up, and the more people come, the more successful it is of your event. He was pissed, and he went out the door. And then later they came back and said we had to limit the amount of freebies that they could give out to the patients and to the people, because they didn't want them to overpower the Grumpy name and all that stuff. And so that part is what it is. So everybody was still selling, and Rich was on live, and he was doing some great video. There were probably like 20 people helping with the Green Retreat, and everybody was really trying. I do believe everybody was doing a significant amount of things to try to do the positive things, moving things in the right direction, but there were no sales. When the gas got pressed for sales, things did start coming in a little bit more, and I went to Ryan with CBD Plus again, and I said, listen, they're not going to be able to pull this off, and we need more money. And I knew Grumpy wasn't happy about it, and I know people think it's selling out, or they say whatever it is, but these events cost money in order to happen. And I like the guy. I spent the time. For those of y'all that have never spent the time to talk to him and to see what he's about and all that stuff, I did. Y'all can have your own judgment on that or whatever, because I don't like everybody, just like everybody don't like me. But I like him, and I spent the time. And so he said to me that he was willing to do 250 children recommendations. And we were going to put it in the Gazette and run an ad and start this huge promotion for 250 children to be able to get free recommendations. He was going to bring on the new provider that he had on. And you guys could do the math on what 250 children recommendations would cost somebody. But he was going to do 250 recommendations. It was all a go. And I went back and told him, listen, I got more money out of him, and he's going to do 250 recommendations. Again, lost it. It was a problem. And I was sitting there like, are you serious? 250 children recommendations. I don't give a damn who you like or don't like. If we could get 250 children recommendations and they can all get their medicine and possibly save their lives, I don't care if I hate them. I'm going to accept it graciously and say thank you. But that wasn't the case. And so we were getting ready to do this big, huge promotion with it. We were getting ready to put the ads and stuff into the Gazette. And then the rain started. And everybody knows it had been pouring. And yes, it was flooding like crazy. Tulsa was underwater. Shit was horrible. Homes were, underwater. People lost their businesses. People lost their homes. People lost their cars. It was horrible. So no discrediting the part where it was advertised about the rain and whatnot. But Sam and Monica, well, mainly Sam, she and I were the driving forces, but Sam was kind of running the show. And Sam finally took a vacation with her family and went out of town, her and Monica and some other people. As soon as she got on the plane and flew away, that day I remember I posted about an after party for the Green Retreat. started drying up. They started getting better. And Grumpy texted me and said, don't post any more stuff about the Green Retreat. And I'm like, why? Well, because we're probably going to cancel it. I'm like, why? Because we had like a whole nother week, almost a week or so. It was actually a little bit over a week before the event was happening. And it was like on a Monday or Tuesday, and probably the next, I wanted to give it till Tuesday to see what the weather looked like so that if we could still have this event, and if I could figure out a way to pull this money together, and all the other people on the team that were working very hard trying to find money, trying to get donations, trying to get get the booth sold, trying to get more sponsorship dollars, if we could find a way to pull this off, we would have it, because we were going to have 250 free recommendations. Okay? I get so upset when it comes to this part. So I talked to Max Baker, and I tell Max, please don't make any decisions, because I want to look and see what the weather looks like on next Tuesday. We had like a week at least. And as hot as it is here in Oklahoma, as you guys know, it dries up fast when there's wet things around. And I couldn't even get to my desk from leaving from the 7-Eleven to my desk, which is only a 10-minute drive. I get a text from Ryan over at CBD Plus's assistant asking me, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. What are you talking about? She's like, I heard the event was canceled. Now, first of all, I have a contract that states they're not going to contact my clients or people I brought to the table. And for someone who hates CBD Plus as much as he says he does, and threw such a fit and didn't want them to be a part of our whole event to begin with, he and Max Baker go out to CBD Plus's office and talks to him directly and shakes his hand and smiles in his face and tells him, please give us money later, but we're going to have to cancel. They didn't cancel because the weather. They canceled because they failed at putting the event together financially. It is what it is. They didn't consult me. They didn't consult the other 20-something people that were part of it. They didn't consult Sam while she was on her vacation. They made the decision on their own, and they didn't care about all the work that was already put in with everybody. They just made that decision on their own. And the most disheartening part was, because they made that decision on their own, 250 children didn't get their recommendations. We could have did it different. As you all know, we did it anyway. But by the time that we were able to decide what we were going to do and if we were going to do it or not, the timing for the marketing and the budget and just everything in order to push such a grand type of marketing had already elapsed. There was no, we couldn't even get stuff in the Gazette. I mean, of course, he's not going to give us 250 children recommendations at that point. It was like, it all got flushed down the drain, you know. Everybody came after me, came after my head, and nobody really came after Larry. No one even really came after anybody else. But, we went out there and we showed the facility, and we showed that it wasn't underwater like they said. And because we showed that, everybody, oh, she's attacking Grumpy. And all the people that were for Grumpy, man, they were on my ass. And honestly, it was never about Grumpy. It was never about Max Baker. It was never about the Green Retreat. It was about the patients. Every event I've ever done since I have started in this industry has been about the patients, period. And I created Chronic Docs off of a national staffing platform that I use to staff all over the United States. I took that model and that proprietary way of doing stuff, and I used it and created it to work for doctors. And I'm able to help people that are actually in hospice, that are dying. I'm able to help people that are in the hospital, that are on their deathbeds, that are cancer patients, people who don't have vehicles, who live on the panhandles. And that was really my thing, because I wanted to be able to help people who cannot get to the patient drives. And I've been ridiculed for a lot of things just because of that. I don't understand, but at the end of the day, I wanted to come complete. I mean, I'm just setting the record straight on everything. I'm just going to keep throwing up all the information because everybody's been so scared to rock the boat on stuff. I'm not scared. I think it was horrible that Chris Moe, Uncle Grumpy, and Max Baker decided to cancel the Green Retreat knowing we had 250 children that were going to get their patient recommendations because they wanted to use those dollars on another day more convenient for them. And then Uncle Grumpy chased me every post I did. Now, mind you, if they don't want to do it and they don't think it's safe, and I wasn't the boss of that. I was hired, which I never got paid for any of the grinder work, and neither did Larry, or neither did Christian. We didn't get paid for any of that. yeah, we didn't get paid for any of that. We marketed it every single night. We never got paid for that. I actually kept all the checks from CBD Plus, and they were all voided out because I had a feeling something fishy was going on, and I was not going to be in the middle of none of that craziness. So luckily, he didn't lose any money behind the deal. But it was just crazy, and just the fact that it was all kind of pushed under the rug, and then it was like all of a sudden now it was us against them. And if they don't want to have an event, it's their prerogative. It's like a party. They're throwing a party. There are events all over this state all the time. People have private parties all the time. People invite their friends. People invite their organizations. They do it all the time. So if Max Baker and Uncle Grumpy and Green Retreat decided to cancel that, I couldn't stop them. But what wasn't okay was how we were harassed. I was chased. I was constantly being beat down because we chose to go ahead and have it anyway, because we wanted to have a patient drive anyway. We wanted to celebrate our anniversary anyway. The Lost Lakes was available for rent. You guys watching, you could have rented it for that day if you wanted it. If you had the money and you wanted to put all the work in to make it happen, you too could have rented it. We did. We chose. We wanted to do it. We wanted to spend our money on it. Didn't make a penny. Actually went in the hole a little bit. But we did it, and we did a patient drive. And just the hate that came at us because of this was absolutely insane. And we weren't the one doing anything wrong. I would post an ad in a group to market our event, and then Grumpy would come right behind me and post the press release saying that it was canceled. And at no point did we ever say we were marketing the Green Retreat. We said it's Advance 788. We picked the name because we're advancing 788. We still wanted to have a patient drive. CBD Plus was still gracious enough and better. The Little Buds, they actually did get to benefit. He was able to sponsor some of the kiddos for that, their first and seconds. But it was horrible that 250 children lost this because really it was just bad money management. And instead of people just coming forward and saying what it was, they used the weather and stuff. And then when we choose to rent it, man, they came for us. Well, they didn't come for us. They came for me. Nobody came for Larry. I don't want them to come for Larry. Nobody was coming for Sam. Nobody was coming for Monica. Everybody came for me. And again, I'm a felon. I'm a success story, whether you like it or not. I bounced back. I have paid my debt to society. I'm not happy for the choices and stuff that happened in my past, but they're who made me who I am today. I'm a hell of a lot stronger because I've been through what I have been through. But I'm not going to sit quiet any longer and let people put people on pedestals and let people take advantage and keep beating me with a bat and being quiet about stuff. I'm just not going to do it anymore. So, as far as that part goes, so that's the truth. Green Retreat was not canceled because of that. It was canceled because of that. And then when that happened, this Thomas Larson person surfaced. And again, there's at least 40-something people watching right now. Who has ever met Thomas Larson face to face? Does he go to any of our Canna events? Is he a member of any organizations? Everybody say they spoke with him. I mean, he donated money. He claims to. He did donate money to the Little Buds, but he wasn't even present for that. He does everything incognito, and it's like people continuously are standing behind a fake profile of an individual who does nothing but spew hate. And he was the one who went to the Edmond Sun article that was written. The Edmond Sun article is probably about 70% correct. I know you guys have seen it because it was shared and it went viral to everyone. I don't know who else's criminal history that's watching this, because I know there's a lot of people watching this because we're the #1 state for incarceration. But I don't know who else's criminal background has been went viral, but mine did. At least not really my background, but a story that was written in the Edmond Sun. And it's only about 70% correct because the Edmond Sun is not a true factual document when it comes to court records. And he didn't take the time to go get the proper documentation. He wanted to spread the Edmond Sun, so he spread it in the share button, and then he sent it to tons of people and asked you guys to share it as well, and you did. And so everybody shared something that they didn't know anything about. None of you guys know me. I don't have many friends because all I do is work. That's all I do. I take care of my kids and I work. That's all I do. Go see my husband every chance I can get because he's incarcerated. That's all I do. And you guys shared it. And you didn't care about the repercussions. You didn't care that if I go down, Chronic Docs will go down because I created it. I created an avenue to take care of sick patients. So Thomas Larson, who everybody's jumping on board with, he's gung-ho all about getting me back and he's going to take me down. He said at one point, he said he's going to take me down to the host. And that's kind of a spooky thing to say. I don't know how many things that you guys are actually following on all the craziness that he has, but yesterday he posted something. He said that if a shooter was present, that I'm the type of person that would grab my child and use them as a shield to protect myself from getting shot to death. Now you guys tell me, how would you take that? That's fucking scary. And it's a normal, sane person that doesn't have a personal vendetta against me or a hate to me wouldn't normally just say, hey, she's the type of person that would use... I mean, anybody that knows me knows I love my children, and that is a horrible, horrible thing to say to anybody. And a normal, sane person wouldn't even type that shit. But he did, and he posted it, and he said all kinds of other shit. And then, like, all these people are just, jumping on board with them. She's she stole IDs. She stole medical records. She stole people's credit cards. She stole this. She stole that. That's all called slander. It's all lies. The record shows I was convicted of wire fraud. So when people say and forward posts that say that, you guys are helping this man who is crucifying me or trying to. He thinks I'm going to go away. I'm not going to go away. I'm not. I'm not going to stop. So, I don't have to. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to keep doing this every time. And after tonight, I promise to God I will never discuss this. It happened 10 years ago. And I have proven myself. If there is anyone in this community or in any state for that matter that can say that I've ever taken or stolen their personal information, I would love to hear from them. I would love to have them contact the police department and then they can investigate it. Because it's never happened. I'm 45 years old. It's never happened. And I'm just tired of this happening over and over again. And and these men especially, the women were bad at first, but really the women have chilled out, except Jessica. She keeps coming for my head. She's got it in for me. I don't know why, but she does. But the guys, this Thomas Larson character, who is a fictitious, everybody go look him up. There's 2 profiles, but the one that he continues to say things is one. It's actually pull up my screen, will you? I'm gonna go in here for a minute. Let's see if I can get on here. Can you the laptop? I'm gonna show you who this is. I need everybody to go look at this asshole because I need to know who knows this guy. Because he even said in the messages that he doesn't even have a medical card. He could care less about our program. But what he likes to do is destroy stuff. And so I need everybody to go look at this fictitious fake person's profile, Thomas Larson. I've got him blocked. That was a screenshot. But this guy, he ruined something again. I mean, as soon as the 788 happened and I said, okay, Grumpy pulled out. Now, I'm not saying anything about who this Thomas Larson is, but you guys could come to your own conclusion. It just seems extremely weird, okay? They canceled a green retreat, okay? We say, hey, we're going to do advanced 788. And then all hell starts breaking loose. Oh, I'm a piece of shit. I'm trying to mess up Grumpy. I'm doing this. It had nothing to do with Grumpy. It had everything to do with the patients, trying to help them. Thomas Larson magically appears, and Thomas Larson, he starts saying all these things, and then Thomas Larson shares my background from the Edmond Sun to everybody he possibly could and asked everybody to please share it. And tons of people shared it that didn't even know me and didn't know if it was correct or not. They don't care if they destroy my life or my children and we don't have the ability to eat. Or the person over here fighting cancer or on hospice that's dying that can't get their medicine. They don't care that chronic docs might go away. Let's just take this bitch down because she's foul. I don't like her. So Thomas Larson gets Hooligan and Bean this same crazy ass Edmond Sun article that is not factual about my charges, that what I was not convicted of through a jury trial, and they go on live. They said they had a duty to go on live and tell the community about my horrible self. And to this day, Billy, he has no remorse for what he did. Hooligan has. Again, he did. He came on. He talked about it briefly. He never really said. He told me what he said off the, when we were off the air. He said that his wife went down to the federal building because you have to go down there. You have to pay money to get copies of this stuff. They went down there and pulled my federal background because you know why? They wanted to fuck me off, basically. Because they were all clowning me the couple days before because there was no way that I possibly could have anything to do with High Times or High Times would want to fuck with me. There was no way because I was lying about it. See, and like other people were really mad, like Jason Mays, he was pissed. He was pissed, I guess. Because he went on. I met him once. I asked them to help please sponsor the Chronic Palooza. He wouldn't even call me back after I went out there and asked him, for the patient drive. It was a patient drive driven event, 100% free for the patients. I went over there to see Ryan. He couldn't see me. They sent me to Giddy Up, and he talks to me and tells me how great he is and how he invented the sun and shit. And I never heard back from him. And, basically, it is what it is. But at our event on Advance 788, we announced live that the High Times Cannabis Cup was coming to Lost Lakes. And I was a liar again. I was the bad guy. I was this person. I was bad. I was this. I was that. I don't know why I was a bad guy because, they had already announced it. They announced it. And then their employee here locally announced it. But then everybody took fire again. The hate started on me. The anger, the hatefulness started, and everybody started saying how I was lying about dealing with the Cannabis Cup. I was asked to do the Cannabis Cup, to do the doctor recommendations. I was asked before I left Advance 788, would I set a conference call to work with them for it. And basically, Hooligan and Bean were on their show. They, Lord forbid, somebody write an article about me that was worth the shit. I was in the same article as they were. And they were talking about the Cannabis Cup was, it was uncertain and a lot of stuff was up in the air. When he actually wrote that, when Matt wrote that show or wrote that particular piece, I hadn't agreed to anything. We were still negotiating prices and how we were going to make it work and how this thing was going to happen. So it went to press before we were already finalized with stuff, but they were on their show clowning me. And so Bean and his wife or one of the two or both of them went down the federal courthouse and they got my criminal record. They actually paid for it, spent their time, their gas, their energy. They went down there. I am a perfect stranger, but they felt necessary to fucking oust me out, and they wanted everybody to know that I was a fraud because I'm lying about the Cannabis Cup and everything else, so they thought. And then when they read it, they were like, oh, wow. We've been saying she steals IDs. This was all off the record. You guys didn't hear that part. We've been saying you stole IDs. We've been saying that you steal credit cards. You've been stealing identities, and you actually just posted ads on Craigslist. Yeah, not the same. And he felt bad. Bean did. And so he contacted Larry, and he thought, you know what, this is fucked up. I sat up here and said all these things. I didn't vet this shit, and I went on live. I called her out at dark 30 in the morning, and I called her out on all these things that I said that she did, and she didn't do none of these things, and I actually feel bad about it. And so he contacted Larry, and then Larry asked me, and I was like, hell no. I almost had a nervous breakdown behind all that shit. I was being attacked by probably 50 strangers a day, sending me crazy text messages, threatening me. I'd walk out of my office. I'm a woman. You know, I'd walk out of my office and be nervous wreck, wondering, like, what the hell's getting ready to happen? Who might jump out and try to, because people were coming at me all day long. And Larry's like, just ignore it. Don't deal with it. Don't respond. It's easier said than done when you're being attacked for no given reason from perfect strangers that know nothing about you. But he actually wanted to come on the show and apologize. And for that, you know, it hurt my soul. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it. And we let him on the show. And he did say some things, you know, how he was sorry. He didn't clean it up as well as he should have cleaned it up, you know. Hey, but he tried. And that was my opinion. He didn't clean up. But, you know, he did try. He tried to do it. He tried to do better. But again, when you've hurt someone, and you cut their leg off and they don't have a leg, or you broke their arm and they're in a cast, it still hurts. The repercussions of everything still hurts. It's not okay. Now, I might forgive you and I might say, you know what, I'll deal with you and I'm going to be cordial to you. But, you know, there's character flaws when people are trying to break people down, and that's all they live for, is to try to break people down. So, you know, I let him on the show, and I tried to show humanity, humility. He was being, you know, cool. I mean, I actually liked the dude at the end of the day. He never met me. I never met him. I think he's crazy as hell when he says some of the shit that he says comes out of his mouth. But I say some crazy shit too. But that's why we're all human beings and we're all different. We all, you know, it takes all kinds to make this world go around. And just because I don't agree with him or something that he's doing, that doesn't mean I'm going to call him out on his bullshit every single time, because I don't have a right to. He's entitled to live his best life, just like anybody else is entitled to live their best life, you know. And I don't walk around all day long trying to figure out a way to fuck off somebody's life and destroy them or their businesses, to make people not be able to feed children or not be able to help patients. Because if the cannabis community is really all about helping patients, then I don't understand why everyone is allowing this hateful ugliness. When people are starting to spread lies or anger or just hate, why people even entertain it? Like, I don't get it. I've never seen nothing this nasty in my life. And you know, everybody wants to be first. Everyone wants to be the man. Everyone wants to be the one that's did this and done that. You know, that's all good. But you don't have to destroy people to make yourself look better or to do different things. And so, you know, I appreciate that he did come on the show and he tried to clean it up. And then he approached me and he said, hey, listen, would you mind if we come out and we do a promotion for Trichome Solution? This is the very first blood drive in our state where they will allow patients who have cannabis in their system to be able to give blood. And so, you know, can we come on and promote it? And, you know, we had just had our rocky road, and I'm trying to be a better person, and I'm not trying to hold a grudge, because this is someone clearly that's going to be in the community, and I don't dislike him as a person, and I don't have any reason to wish him any ill. And even if I don't like him, I don't have anything against trying to help people get blood, because I know how extremely hard it is right now for people to give blood and to get blood and all that. So I said, sure, come on in. So I reached out to Trichome Solutions myself, and I said, do you have a doctor's visit set up for the patient drive? And he said he had someone in mind, and I said, listen, I'm going to speak with my doctor, because this is a big deal. And it's like the end of the month is when all the new bills change and all the stuff's happening. Can we have I'm going to see what we can do, and I'm going to do a $25 patient drive. And they were excited. I was excited. My doctor was excited. She was all about it. We came on here. I didn't know Chris Moe and Norma and those were going to be a part of it. Again, have never to this day. Chris Moe is yet to ever call me. He walked out and did everything he did, canceled everything he did. He's yet to this day has ever even called me to tell me or talk to me or try. Neither has Max Baker. Neither one of them ever tried to talk to me. But I still, if I saw him out, and even you can put that on the record, anyone that's watched my shows, I have never just point blank called him out on anything until tonight. Or even said any ill words against him. I don't post things bad about him. I don't say things bad about him. It's not necessary. And when they said he was going to be there, I was like, ooh, all right, I got to deal with him, and that's all right because I'm a professional. It's about these patients. It's a $25 patient drive. Absolutely, I'm about this. You know, I can do this. I can suck it up and deal with the person who I don't respect because of how things happen and is still yet to call me, have a conversation because it's about the patients. So when I heard him say that, I was just like, ooh. But then, so he said that they're going to be out there. It's all going to be happy, happy, joy, joy. And then we create a joint flyer. Now, mind you, Thomas Larson's fake profile, this fake individual who is running rampant, creating chaos and hate within our community, had been dormant since Advanced 788. So that was, at least a good month. Good month had passed, at least. I mean, good month. Absolutely no anything. Well, as soon as it was posted that we were going to be participating in the patient drive for $25, Grumpy pulled out. He said he wasn't going to go. Said he wouldn't be there. Said it was a misunderstanding. It was going to be a problem. Because he doesn't want to associate himself with me. I guess I'm beneath him for whatever reason. So he pulled out. And then magically, Thomas Larson, hate shit started up all over again. And he went for it. He went for his. He got all up in there, started talking again, started going in, started saying all kind, talked about me using my child as a human shield and all that good stuff and just tons of stuff. Y'all can go up on Bean's page. It's all up there. Yeah. And, Thomas Larson, this bitch that he is, he typed an email to the Red Cross. It's also, I believe, up there. If not, I can post it. He typed an email to the Red Cross and said that that Trichome Solutions was going to allow a convicted felon that knowingly steals identity and credit card and people's everything from patients to do a patient drive at their place. And if they allow it to happen, he was going to wreck shop, basically. It was going to be a problem. And he threatened, and he did all kinds of stuff, and he said all kinds of things. He was threatening everybody on the deal. But he wanted to make sure that everybody knew that he did it. So after he sent the send button to the Red Cross, he screenshot it. And then he put that in all the groups. And, like, Jessica and everybody else is like, yeah, Thomas rocks, Thomas! And then she's getting her panties in a wad mad because now the owners of Trichome is like, they've had fucking enough of the madness because the Red Cross is wanting to pull out because of it. They're not, but we got fired behind it, and we were offering $25 patient recommendations, and they were going to have. We were going to be able to make it. We're going to be able to use my platform here. We're going to make it a huge production. We're going to make sure that it was a huge success. I hope that it's still a huge success, but because of Thomas Larson's hate and him going into all the groups, he made sure he posted it into all the groups. And everybody in the groups allowed him to post it. This is a fake person's profile, a fake person who deliberately sabotaged a blood drive and then beat it on his chest and said, I did that. Ha ha! Not only am I trying to not let people give blood, I want to not let people get their patient recommendations because I actually don't even like cannabis. I don't even have a medical card, he said. He could care less. And Jason Mays has had conversations with them. They screenshot memes to each other, their friends, and people have talked to him. And he's a real big component in the cannabis community, but nobody has ever met him. So he's such a big Billy badass, and he loves attacking women. So when Larry gets back in town, I'm calling out you, Thomas Larson, to come on our show. If you can't come on our show and at least me face to face, man, and you're clearly angry and have hatred in your heart and want bad, horrible things to happen to me, I would love to see why. I mean, sometimes you don't know something's broken until you're told, and then you could try to fix it, because I am not a malicious person. I'm not a hateful person. I have so much love in my heart. All I do is help people. And the fact that this man thinks it's okay to constantly cyberbully me, and then all the people who get behind him and add to it and rah with him, and that they allow this to happen, is fucking insane. I mean, these people have nothing to do all day. I mean, I've been busy today with reports. I mean, for y'all that are in our in the business community that aren't just sitting home and our patients, there's actually reports that are due tomorrow. You know what I mean? I've been busy as hell, but this guy's been at it all day. And the Lord bless Jennifer Bradley's heart. She's been with me for over 5 years. She's been with me through thick and thin. She's seen all the craziness that's happened just from me from A to Z. And she has been battling that motherfucker since yesterday. And I don't know what magic I possess or why he feels in his soul that I am such a horrible person. But Thomas Larson, you and Jessica, you're welcome to come too. Anybody that hates me so much that you feel compelled to continue to do what you're doing to me to potentially hurt chronic docs so that we can't help sick people that can't get out to the patient drives, and you want to continue to hurt the patients because that's what you're doing. You're not hurting me because I'm not going anywhere. There's only a very small amount of individuals that are even on Facebook. So, I mean, unless you're going to get a billboard and spend that kind of money, and then that's cool. I mean, if people care about what I did 10 years ago and the mistakes I made and that people can't change and people can't make better decisions and things can't go better, if you guys want to continue to hate and continue to bring up what my husband's done, and he's incarcerated still, like, why I have to defend a man that's still in prison? I'm going to say hashtag Free Wally till the day I die because he's in jail, and he's in jail currently for weed, period. He is. I mean, he's already been incarcerated for 10 years. So, I mean, I'm going to say it. If you don't like it, you don't have to. You don't want to be my friend? Don't be my friend. You don't like what I say on here? Swipe left or whatever they say. Don't tune in. You don't like me? Block me. I don't care. I'm not going away. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm going to continue to help patients. I'm going to continue to throw events for patients because that's the only kind of events I throw. I don't throw corporate events where I'm selling big booths and the only people are coming is selling corporate business-to-business stuff. The only thing I've ever done is stuff that pertains to patients. And if anyone can come forward and say I've ever stolen their information and I've stolen anything, and besides, most everybody watching this show knows exactly what kind of information is required for to do an application. It's your name, phone number, date of birth, and so forth. So, I mean, come on. I'm just, if we could just, if people would focus on the good and stop trying to hate everybody and talk shit and forward gossip, and people would actually work on some shit that matters, man, just imagine what we could get accomplished. I mean, all the hours that this fake profile, Thomas Larson, has spent talking about me just in the past 48 hours. I mean, shit, if he cared so much about patients, he could have been at a patient drive having one. Why don't he go get a doctor and get them to do a $25 recommendation? Why is Jessica giving the people at Tricom Solutions such a hard time? She has a dispensary. Jessica, you have a $25 patient recommendation. You guys were clowning me and saying everything about me and saying how I act like or Hooligan acts like he can't do anything without me. Jessica, you have a patient you have a patient recommendation for $25 at your dispensary and get you a doctor, and you rock it out, sister. You help patients. You do it. And until you guys do it, just stop. Because you're only hurting the patients. I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody who wants to come on the show or wants to come meet me face to face. Sidebar, as a human being, because that's what I am. I'm a mother. I'm a business owner. And I am successful, and I'm sorry. I'm actually good at what I do, and I'm sorry. If you don't like me saying that, I'm sorry that you don't like that I'm saying it. Did you guys create a telemedicine program and do what you do? Have you guys seen 1,200 patients in a day? Have I collected petition signatures? No. I mean, I know someone's going to say that. No. I'm not in competition with any of you guys. The best patient is the next patient. Unless I'll stop with the shit. Give me a break. Get off my ass. Go save some lives. Go educate someone on something that they need so that they can live longer. Help somebody take their pain away. Jessica, do it. Go rock it out, sister. Please. Everybody go to Jessica Hawkins' dispensary. She is fucking fabulous, you guys. And she's going to have a patient drive at her place for $25. Jessica, you put the flyer together. I'll even pay my girl to put the flyer together. Just do it. Just do it. I think it's awesome. Have one every week if you can. Why do you hate so much on people that are trying to do good for the patients? Go after people who really matter, that are really a threat to society. I am not it. Rock it out. I hope she has a great patient drive. I hope Trichome Solution does. I hope Giddy Up, as nasty as he was talking about me and how he likes to clown and how he's such an honorable person. I wish him success. I wish Max Baker. I wish Chris Moe success. I am not going to miss a one night of my sleep. They're not paying my bills. I'm not paying their bills. But if they're doing anything positive for patients, that's all that matters. It's supposed to be peace, love, and happiness. That's what you guys all said. Everybody's in here, when everybody's medicating and doing their thing, and everybody's all happy, and I can only do my little 5 milligram little thing because I'll pass the fuck out. I mean, I thought this was about taking care of the patients. That's it. That's all. So, well, good, Jessica. Keep doing it. Rocket sister, do your thing. Keep my name out your mouth. You don't like me? Fine. I love you. I don't have any reason not to. Except you're hateful and nasty, and it's because you've been attacking me. And if you attack me, I mean, of course I'm going to clap back and say something. I'm not going to let people just come at me and do what they say, and I'm not going to say nothing, but I'm not doing it anymore. I don't have to. I don't owe anyone an explanation after today, I promise. What my husband has done in the past, unless you're willing to put all of your skeletons up and everybody can just take and get a microscope and pick you apart, because it doesn't matter. All that shit doesn't help the patients, period. Go invent something that's going to make someone's pain go away. Go create something that's going to help kill cancer. Go do some research. Go take a trip that's going to help you learn something to bring back to our state and another state that's been doing this to help make our state better. Stop worrying about me and trying to beat me to death to make yourself look better. Y'all need to go look in the mirror. Thomas Larson, please come on our show. You are hating Jessica, honey. You are. You are. There's no reason that you've even been having any conversation. My name shouldn't come out your mouth, period. Just because that you have access to people's backgrounds and you think you know more than everybody, you don't. And even if you do, so fucking what? It was 10 years ago, okay? I'd love to see your boyfriend's background. Let's check it out together. Let's see if his charges are worse than my husband's charges. Let's just see if they're any worse. You know, let's just see. I don't care, though, because I don't know him and I don't care. I'm just trying to help patients. So I'm going to get off my rant now. Oh, but I do have some stuff to talk about. So you have been attacking me, Jessica. Hey, how about you guys go into Hooligan Bean's post? And if you didn't know, okay, so a perfect stranger that you've only met at lunch and you've talked through Facebook just a little bit. See if you don't think Jessica has been basically starting shit. I mean, she was attacking the owner of Trichome Solution, was like on her ass, mad because she won't say something back on Facebook. Like, people have lives outside of Facebook. I don't have as much because Chronic Docs relies on Facebook. Chronic Docs to save patients and get patients, we're a virtual. Okay, you can't get that at a patient drive. You got to get the word out through social media. You can't use radio. I mean, we can now. Actually, iHeartRadio is letting us put cannabis stuff out there. But you have to rely on stuff. So I am on social media more. I've watched you all day today, Jessica, talking shit. Calling my friend a liar, saying that she doesn't know how to read. I mean, talking about indictment when indictment isn't what was found guilty. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's 10 years ago. If you're so worried about the community, then just, I don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you, sorry, I'm not going anywhere. Sorry for your luck. I don't know what to tell you. Will you put my screen back on? I'm not going anywhere. Don't need to. Help too many people. Have no need to. Yeah, you spoke directly to me yesterday, and you said that, and then you went today and started bashing the fuck out of me up on the post, so. I definitely don't want friends like you, so please just know that. So we do have an event coming up, though, and we are going to be talking about it pretty soon. And it's Halloween. And we're going to be helping with staffing it as well. So if people need jobs that enjoy the whole Halloween theme, we are going to be hiring for that. We don't have a full lineup yet with the artists that are going to be coming out. This also, again, if it's anything that I have anything to do with, it's going to be patient driven. We will be doing a $25 patient recommendation at this event. I've already got that approved through the doctor. So it's going to be October the 19th. So if anybody, needs to get it then and haven't been able to get it, they can come out that day. We also are doing an Eventbrite because we weren't able to do that. We were fired because Thomas Larson had a problem with our services helping patients for $25 and wanted to hurt the patients. Thomas Larson did, or the fake person, aka known as Thomas Larson, or whoever that person is. And again, when court documents get issued and people actually pull IP addresses, I know this firsthand because that's part of my charges that you guys are also worried about. Wire fraud, which is, on the internet, when you post ads and do things on the internet, there's a very unique number that's assigned to every login that you have, and it's called an IP address. And that IP address can be tracked to anybody, anywhere. And Facebook, as big as they are, they have a very large server that keeps every post, everything. And so, if Thomas Larson's going to be a bitch and not come, forward and show their real person, who they are not Thomas Larson, we all know that this person is not who they say they are because they're hiding behind a fake profile. They come in and they create destruction. They create destruction in our community, and then people jump on board with them. But, I want to have him on the show. I think Larry will be back next week, so you guys get him on the show. But anyway, if you guys want to go to Eventbrite, it's Chronic Docs 100% virtual patient recommendation. It's going to be September, or the end of the month, the 31st and the 1st. Let's see how many we've already got signed up so far. It's pretty exciting. I posted this yesterday. We have 219 patients that are pre-registered right now for the virtual recommendation, but we are going to host it out somewhere else. So I will be posting up. So for people who don't like the telemedicine and want to meet people face-to-face and would rather do that instead of the virtual, I will announce. I got to find the location since it was abruptly pulled from us yesterday and we're not able to do that. We'll be able to announce that and let everybody know where that's at, so you can tell your people that if they need a $25 recommendation, they can get that out. But yeah, I'm real excited about the Halloween. That's going to be out at Lost Lakes, October the 19th, and we will have the actual schedule put together for the artist and some more. We'll put ticket prices. We don't know the ticket prices and stuff yet because we're still trying to get our lineup together to see who we're able to get booked for there. So Jessica, Thomas Larson absolutely wanted to hurt the patients because by him spreading hate and lies, which are not correct, about my criminal history and my background, we were forced not to be able to help with the drive. I understand that you're Superwoman and you were able to find somebody else, and that's awesome. But if that wasn't the case, like when Grumpy pulled the 250 kid recommendation, they canceled it. We lost that. That wasn't recoverable. I don't know anybody that has been able to pull that off. He intentionally, maliciously came after their business, the Red Cross, our business, and he intentionally is trying to hurt patients. And everybody keeps this. When he's in the groups talking shit, you guys are just right there. Woo! You were doing it all day today. He'd say something, you'd say something. He'd say something, you say something. Y'all were like, tag team activate. It is what it is. People can go in there and look at the messages and see for themselves. I'm a lot of things. I'm a bitch a lot of times, and people might not like me, but I'm not a liar. I don't have to be. Wonder Twins activate, Jessica. You and Thomas Larson in. I'm not going to get into it anymore. I'm not going to play into it. I'm not going to allow this to happen anymore. I will not. I will not allow this to take another minute of my life. And I pray to God that the very scary shit that he's been typing as far as me using my child as a shield for bullets when people are shooting at me, I hope I don't come up missing and get killed. Y'all can laugh. Oh, she's fine. Yeah. People are getting shot everywhere. So laugh and clown if you want to. I take this shit real personal. And when I see someone that's unstable enough to type something like that, I take it real personal. And when I see an activist or anybody for that matter that's tag teaming and just jumping on board and continuously stirring the shit and keeping the shit going and causing problems, yeah, I'm going to call it like I see it. That's my opinion. Just like you have one on me. I got one too. So, I mean, until you're attacked for 3 months straight and your integrity is being assaulted and people are trying to break you down for 3 months straight, do some of the achievements I've done, then you can holler at me. And actually, if you have, man, shit, I want to sit down and talk to you because I love to do some stuff with people who are all about the same thing as I am, because I'm about helping patients and I'm about being successful. Because we all know none of us are nonprofit organizations. We're all for profit. We are about the patients, but we still have bills to pay. I still have kids I have to feed. School clothes aren't cheap. Shoes aren't cheap. School supplies aren't cheap. Haircuts aren't cheap. They all cost money. And when people are attacking me, you're taking money away from my family. You're taking money away from my employees. And ultimately, you are hurting patients. When you stir the shit and you're trying to hurt me just because you don't like me, again, I'm not going anywhere. So gonna have to learn to hate me. Love to learn to hate me. Whatever the saying is, I don't know what to say about it. But I don't have any hate against anybody. I really would love. I mean, I would love to have happy, joy, peace, love, and happiness. I thought that's what this was all about. So, anyway, I haven't really got to look at these comments that much because I've been on my soapbox. So, anyway, I am an open book. Larry's out. He's probably going to murder me because I went on a tangent. And it is what it is because he tries to keep me in my cool. But I just really have had it. And I snapped. So I apologize for extra curse words. I apologize for people who feel whatever they feel towards me and feel like they have a say-so in my life. If you don't like me, I'm sorry. All I can do is keep doing the next right thing, keep trying to stay on the right path, make good decisions just like everybody else. I'm just trying to live my best life. And I've had it. I'm not going to put up with people allowing people to treat people horribly. So if I see hate and ugliness and people stirring the pot and people trying to call people out and people trying to be hateful and people trying to, have me share things, I'm just going to delete those people. And then you guys can, because I've heard people talk a shit. Oh, she blocked me because she don't. Absolutely, I block you. Because I have a slick ass mouth and I know it. And I know I'm a human being and I'm going to say something slick. If someone attacks me, I'm going to. And it's been very hard for me not to defend myself when I know my true character and I know who I am as a human being and I know what the hell my charges were on top of it. And I know what I do all day long helps patients. So, it is what it is, and I can't please everybody. But if I see hate, and I challenge everyone watching this, if you see someone that's just being nasty and hateful, instead of jumping on the bandwagon, go figure out something that's going to help our community. Go find something that's going to be positive. Get off of Facebook. Stop getting on there. Block them. I have to block them all. I got to block them all, and I'm going to keep blocking them all. And then everybody's going to miss these really cool events because we're having these fun things that we're doing all through the year. Like Halloween is going to be awesome out at Lost Lakes. We actually have the potential to do something every Saturday out at Lost Lakes for the Canna community. We can do patient-driven things. If you guys want to get involved and you got some ideas and you want to have, we'll organize it. I just need some help. I just need some people that have some muscles and some ideas and want to put forth some actual, work to help us pull it off. I don't mind doing it. The Haunted Forest is out there, so we could put things together where the Haunted Forest will be on one side and we'll have a can event on the other side on Saturday nights. It can be something really spectacular if we can all come together, and even if you don't like someone, we can all still get along. We can all still help each other. We can all still help patients, because at the end of the day, That's what everybody fought for. And yes, I was not part of that. Never claimed to be. I even did the I Am 788 video series because I wanted to highlight the people who did, to give them the notoriety that they deserve. There were tons and hundreds of people that I wasn't able to even include in that. And I did that out of just something that I felt in my soul I wanted to do to give back to the community. Nobody paid me for that. No one told me to do that. No one gave me money to do that. I did that all out of my own pocket. And I wanted to provide that to the community for other people who are like me that aren't people in the industry, to see what the people went through, the activists, what people went through and endured to get our state to have the best program we have in the nation. And I did that to educate people, and that's what I want to continue to do. And if I don't like you or you don't like me, that's fine. I can still work with you because I'm a business professional, and that's the difference. I don't have to like you to help us all get money, to help make products that are going to help save lives, because we all need money and we all have bills to pay. Regardless what everybody says, we all have bills to pay. We don't get to survive without paying our bills. We all have to make money. And I refuse to let people continue to come after me to injure my family, injure my companies, injure my employees' ability to eat and feed their families, and ultimately hurt patients. So I'm going to end it with that. And Marianne, don't waste your time, honey. It ain't even worth it. She's someone who's known me for over 25 years. She knows everything about me. So it's not even worth it. So don't even worry about it. But anyway, I hope, I might need to hit me this when I get off the air. Christian. Busted out. So anyway, I'm sorry. I had to vent. I had to get this off my chest. Everybody has their breaking point, and I'm a human being, and I just had it tonight. So I appreciate y'all letting me listen to me. Go to Hooligan Beans page. Hell, there's y'all could eat popcorn and just see all the nastiness on there, but there's a lot of truth in there. There's a lot of information in there that you might be interested to know, since people are so curious about me. And for the rest of y'all who gave two shits about it, I appreciate you, because it isn't that fucking serious. I'm just a normal person out here trying to live. So thank you guys for listening to my tangent, and I hope everybody has a very productive day tomorrow, has a great evening, and good night.